Hi everybody and welcome back to Rate This Clinic. So first things first, I want to give a shout out to the people who have supported and messaged me and liked the channel, who are coming forward with similar experiences. I urge you to keep sharing your experiences. Keep emailing me, keep leaving comments under the videos. You need to talk about your experience or it will keep happening to other people. So I just want to thank everybody who's got in touch and who's contributed to the channel. Second of all, I want to give a shout out to the clinic trolls and shills that have been attacking me. So on Reddit, a couple of people have been getting quite butthurt and emotional when I talk about hair mills, and I've had a few messages and emails of people getting butthurt as well. The only reason you're getting butthurt is either A, you're paid by the clinic, you're a shill for the clinic, you're maybe one of Asli Tarcan's lapdogs, or B, you've had a procedure at one of these clinics and you're upset that it may not turn out the way you want it, which is natural. But shout out to those trolls and haters, keep them coming. So today I want to talk about, is it possible to fix a botched donor area? Is it possible to fix a botched transplant in general? I think is the even bigger question. So people who've watched the first video that I made know that obviously I got my hair botched at Asli Tarcan. 4 years later, that was in 2018. 4 years later, I'm trying to undo the damage. So for a year or two, I just cut my hair short, got SMP. But then I tried to grow it out again recently and I realized, you know what, I like how my hair looks grown out, but I need to fix it to be fully confident and to be fully comfortable with the hairstyle. I don't want to have to style it in a certain way to avoid people seeing the gaps and the patches. I want to be able to be confident with my hair. So I'm going to see Dr Mwamba of FUE Clinic in 2 weeks to get a repair surgery. And I'm going to go through exactly what the plan is. And I'm going to show you a couple of other cases of people who've gone to Dr Mwamba to replace botched donor areas. So we're going to look at this first case. So this is a guy, we'll go to the first one. This is a guy, oh that's his chest hair, yeah, called Gimpoli, and he's on the Hair Restoration Network. So you can see the thread title, Dr Mwamba FUE Clinic, 1,200 body hair transplant donor area repair job. It's a donor area repair job. There is hope for your decimated donor. So we know these Turkish clinics, they love to take 5,000, 6,000 grafts and they'll leave your donor area looking like Chernobyl. So we are focused on today, can we fix that? So I don't want to bore you with too much, but basically this guy went to a procedure with a fellow called Dr. Pisano of Marbella. As you can see, an incompetent buffoon who went and destroyed this guy's donor area, basically. You can read the thread. I'm going to leave the links below, yeah? So if we go down, so here are his pictures. So nothing too bad. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so here's the damage, yeah? You can see real bad donor damage on that side. It's looking really bare and empty. Yep, same thing over here. Really bad. First photo is 2 months post procedure, pretty bad. The other three are 1 month post procedure. Here's looking pretty bad as well, looking very bare and not looking great at all. It's quite similar to mine, although I think mine has more defined borders. So the next ones below are about 8 months after the procedure. So 8 months after, and you can see it still looking pretty bare. So the donor never recovered. That one's not looking too bad actually. There you can see as well. That's not looking good. So next up, post SMP photos. So the guy did SMP. So SMP is great because if you like to keep your hair short, SMP can be a really good way to fill in the gap. So obviously it's micro pigmentation, so small tattoos in between the hair follicles. So if you cut your hair short, it looks pretty good. I had SMP. The downside is that you have to shave your hair every day because as soon as your hair grows past a certain length, the SMP is no longer effective. And the other thing that really puts me off, even though I live in England and we don't get any sun anyway, is that you have to apply sunblock because the sun will make the tattoo fade. It will make the pigmentation fade. And so you're going to have to get touch-ups every few years anyway because the pigmentation will fade. So that's what puts me off. But it is an option for people. So if we go down, here you can see Gimpoli. Next is a quick one an illustration quite simply of the magic that is Mwamba. The first is about 4 months post, 1,200 grafts from the chest. So this guy took grafts from his chest. No topic was used for this photo at the back. And wow, that looks really good. So he's got skin fade here, but the donor looks really good. Looks pretty much undetectable, any kind of damage at all. Looking thick up here is looking good. So they use chest hair to fill in the donor area. And it's amazing. The first time I heard of any of this stuff was with Mwamba. So this second picture was taken before Mwamba. So you can see obviously it's not looking as accomplished as the first pic. Really doesn't look as good. You can see it's quite patchy up here. So yeah, it doesn't look great. And what is the third pic? Third was taken December 2020 and affirms how bad it was and how little flexibility you have with the donor after. So yeah, it's not looking too bad down here, but up here is looking quite patchy. Photos below are post 2 months post Mwamba. So it's still growing in, I think. It's looking pretty good there. Finally, 4-month results with no topic. I mean, that looks amazing. Obviously, if you really looked hard, you could see it's a bit more sparse here, but that looks really good. And that as well looks great. Obviously, a little patch here, but it looks brilliant. There again, you can see a little patch, but most people would not bat an eyelid to that. That looks like a really good donor area. So that's 4 months post. So I'm not going to go too much into that. Is there one more here? So here's just showing some of the procedure. So hairs were obviously implanted into here by Mwamba. You can see the marks of where the punches have gone in. Okay, and the next one is a guy called Mustang. So Mustang is a guy on the Hair Restoration Network. He's had multiple transplants. If you look here, he said he's had 10 small FUEs over the past 14 years of 9,000 extractions overall. So he went to Dr Mwamba, who uses body hair transplant. So primarily he'll use hairs from the beard to replenish the donor area, which is the plan with me. And he's used hair from the beard with this fellow Mustang. So you can see here, this is pre-op, looking pretty bad, looking pretty patchy. Again, looking pretty patchy here. And this is the area to repair, and you can see the work that Mwamba has done. He's replaced some grafts, he's replaced some hairs down here, and at 4 months that's looking pretty solid. Again, this procedure I don't think will ever be perfect, because it's going to be, how can you replace every follicle that has been extracted? You can't. There's not enough follicles to do that. But you can see small area here, but that's looking pretty damn good. It looks pretty damn normal. If we go to the next page, he's posted some more pictures. So which ones are these? So this is 2019 versus 2020. Yep, pluggy, gaps. And here's looking pretty homogeneous. Still looks pretty thin, but looks much more homogeneous than this one where you can see big gaps. So when it comes to over harvesting, sometimes it's more about the pattern of the over harvested. If they've taken a lot from one area compared to a lot from another, then it will look over harvested. So you want to try and achieve a homogeneous look where everything is equal throughout, even if it's quite thin throughout. 5 months, I consider my donor to be completely normal again, and this looks really good. So obviously it is, you can see a little kind of heavier hair here where it's a bit more dense and a bit more patchy there, but that looks pretty damn good for somebody who's claims he's had over 9,000 extractions. It looks really good. So yeah, so I'm going to talk about my situation now. I hope I haven't bored you too much with that. So with my situation, let's go over the picture. So this is my hair pre-transplant, pre-Asli Tarcan botched job, and it looks good. My hair's quite dense. There's no huge gaps, maybe a bit at the crown, but otherwise my donor looks really good. So obviously they botched me. We'll go here for an example. So this is a very recent picture of me. Look at the back of my head. So if I let my hair grow out to a certain length, that's how it looks. Clear border, clear botch job. They decimated my donor area. And yeah, I have to be very careful how I wear my hair now. Otherwise it's going to look like this and it's really annoying. Here's another one. So this is when I was cutting my hair just before I did SMP. This was the picture I sent to the SMP guy. And look at my donor area. Does that look normal to you? Decimated. But you'll get these Asli Tarcan trolls saying I'm lying. Do you think I did this at home to impress you or to get views on a video? Of course I didn't. So that's how it looks. So the aim here, so when I contacted Mwamba, The aim here, he said, he wants to use hair from my beard. So what he's going to do, first of all, he's going to try and maybe take a bit more from the borders here. So you can see these hairs here. So the nape and the borders. And I'm guessing he'll maybe take some from the sides a little bit as well. And maybe he'll try and deplete these more dense areas. See, there's some slightly dense areas. And this is the bad side. This is much worse than the left side. The left side is not as bad. So he's going to try and basically homogenize this area. And what we mean by homogenize is just make everything look more equal and make the hair look level in all areas, rather than having one dense area and one empty area. And that's what he's going to do first. Those hairs that he's going to take will be reused in these corners here where I've had an awful result. So the hairs that they put here just either did not survive or they didn't implant enough. I don't know. There's big gaps there. I have to wear my hair very long and I have to cover them over these corners so that these can't be seen, but it is see-through and it's really frustrating. So those hairs that he depletes from the back to make the back more homogeneous are going to go into the corners. Look, you can see a better picture there, yeah? This is before I had SMP done on the corners. With SMP, it looks a bit better, but it's still, you can still see that it's see-through. So he's going to put the grafts into there, hopefully. We'll have another look. This is the other corner. Yep, it's pretty empty. And yeah, so then what he's going to do, he's going to take grafts from the beard and he's going to do what we call fit farming. So obviously in farming, you plant stuff in the ground. Here, he's going to be planting beard grafts into the back of my head. So we're only taking a small amount. He's mentioned that we're taking 300. I don't know if maybe on the day we're going to go for more. Just depends on what he says. He's going to go for about 300. We're going to plug it into the donor area, and hopefully the donor area will look markedly improved by the time Mwamba is done with it. So it's going to be depleted a little bit to make it look level. Then we're going to refill it. And I'm guessing I might have to go back for another one with Dr. Mwamba later on, maybe more beard grafts in the back. And obviously the beard grafts are coming from the bottom of my neck, so it's not going to be visible to somebody who's looking at me head on. So that is the plan with Dr. Mwamba. It's going to be a 2-day procedure. Mwamba is very, very highly rated for this kind of repair work. So Bisanga as well, who's in Belgium, he's quite known for repair work, but Mwamba is known for taking on quite tough cases and doing miracles. There, I'm speaking to a number of guys on the hair transplant forum right now, hair restoration network right now, who have had repair procedures with Dr. Mwamba. And 2 of them have literally just had repair procedures and they can't speak highly enough of him and his team. And one of them is like 4.5 months post Mwamba and he's seeing great results. So for anybody who has gone to a hair mill, whether it's in Turkey, whether it's anywhere else, there is a solution for you. Now, it's not going to be ideal because I don't believe my donor will ever look perfect again. I think it's impossible. How can you replace all those grafts? You can't. But it will be a big improvement on the botched job. If they've taken 5,000 grafts from you, it's going to be a massive, massive improvement on that. So my advice, if you've had a botched job, obviously now you've got to do things right. You've got to go to a renowned surgeon. You've got to do things properly. You're going to pay more than you would at a hair mill. This is not no £2,000 Asli Tarcan. You get a hotel and you get transferred to the clinic. No. So the audio just cut out there. But yeah, the point I was trying to make was that this time round, you got to do things properly. You got to do your due diligence on a surgeon. You have to make sure that it's the right surgeon for you. You have to make sure that you believe in what they're telling you and that you really research them. So anyway, guys, if you've got any stories that you like to share, if you've got any questions about this procedure or about anything, please feel free to get in touch. I want to see you guys commenting and engaging. And if you have a story about a hair mill, come and talk to me. We need to get that story out there. I can keep you anonymous, no problem, but we need to get your story out there so that these scumbags will stop being able to do what they're doing. Hair of Istanbul, you're another one. I've had quite a few messages about you, but they've got a lot of trolls on places like Reddit, full of paid shills on there who try to defend the clinic, post up fake reviews and all of this. Don't be fooled by any of this. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video and I will see you on the next one.